Apparently, I am live. Welcome to All Good Things and All Good Time, where it's always a good day to be alive. Just because the news is depressing don't mean we gotta be depressed. And this is my new news program, episode 40 of the god-awful news. Because if you think the news was bad yesterday, yep, it's gonna be worse today. As long as we have these Republicans in charge. Every day will only bring us worse news, but I'll be here to bring it to you, and I'll do my best to bring some levity, some humor to the situation if I can. It's always worth the college try, so yeah, that's what's going on. I got a whole bunch of god-awful news. Shit. It is truly remarkable. I went to the rally today. I'm going to share that with you. I've got a little story to tell you, but it's just a preface for a greater story. I'll give you a quick briefing on what I'm going to do later. I'm going to read these 2 pages later on my channel here. Still haven't. I've given myself the assignment of reading the Constitution. I'm going to read that on my channel soon because I need to do that. And then I can just listen to it to learn it, right? Just listen to myself. That's how I used to study. Just read it out loud once, record it, and then play it back. But in this way, I'll do it publicly. And when I watch my own videos, I'll get a nickel for it, maybe. All right. Yeah, nobody watching. It is Sunday morning. Now, it is 4:20. It's very late here in Hawaii, or very early, whichever way you look at it. And in your neck of the woods, it's morning time, right? It's either early morning in California or it's mid-morning on the East Coast. So, shoots. So at the rally today, I saw, man, my video cut out. I didn't know it. I had 11 people watching, then 1 all of a sudden. I didn't know it. It's cut off. It says, when I pulled up the video, it says 34-minute video, and then you play it, it's 2 minutes. But it did capture that guy saying, I'm like, how do you stay so fit? I asked the guy, because he's lean. He looks healthy. His skin is radiating. Apparently, he's there with his wife, I presume, or partner. And I asked him how he stays looking so good because he's 10 years older than me. And he says, love making, dancing, and singing. I can't sing, but maybe I should get a girlfriend. So that was what I said. I was like, oh, maybe I should get a girlfriend. Maybe that's how I'll get rid of this belly. No, anyway. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. So even though it's only 2 minutes, it's a pretty good 2 minutes. But there was so much great stuff. I walked up and down the street and filmed everybody and their signs and made jokes. There were 2 people there were like, I don't know, 500 people there, right? And there were 2 people with Trump hats and flags. And once people realized it, they all just went all around him, surrounded him, because they were across the street with, they were just a bunch of sweet old ladies. They weren't being threatening, right? But they just surrounded him. I wish I'd gotten that on tape, if you want to call it that. All right, should we get into it? There is just so much bad news. Oh, I keep trying to forget it. I am very safe. I had a safety meeting previous to this, so you can rest assured. Hey, what's up, John? Aloha, brother. I went to that protest today, and for some reason, and 2 minutes into a live stream, it cut out, and I didn't know it, and I just filmed people, not know that I wasn't filming people. It says 30. Anyway, I already said this. I'm repeating myself. All right, so. Let's get into some of the news. I mean, my goodness, it's pretty god awful. Oh, do you think Trump is really 6'3", 225? Okay, all right. So Marco Rubio is just doing this horrible stuff where he's using his right. The Secretary of State has this. He's the only person who has this right to just deport people. You know what I mean? individually. He can just decide someone is a threat to our country because they have an opinion and they're Muslim, which is apparently, one of the many groups being targeted in the way that they're being targeted. He just hired, by the way, 2 white supremacists into the cap. Jesse Dollemore did a story about that. But interestingly, there's no higher court precedent making it like law, but there was a ruling by a judge against this very thing that Rubio's been doing, and the judge that made that ruling was Trump's sister, the one who was corrupt and who quit instead of being investigated when Trump became president. So that's an interesting story. And then they've done all this stupid shit. And by the way, before I get into this, like, all the people I'm talking about do all the jobs, man. They are the truckers, the builders, the painters, the landscapers, the plumbers, the electricians, the dishwashers, busboys, cooks, servers. These are the people that keep everything going. They're the ones working at the gas station. You know what I mean? They're the ones that we used to celebrate during the pandemic, and now we are attacking them all and trying to run them out of our country. And anyway, in lieu of that, they've now targeted the Afghans who helped us, like our interpreters, the people and the Christians who are under persecution, who, if we send them back, Afghan Christians back to the Taliban, they'll definitely be murdered. It's just committing murder. There was a good interview. Who did the interview with with one of the soldiers who did 4 tours over there? He's been working for these as an advocate to help them get out and get safety here, and there's a program for that. And then he did mention that, like I've been mentioning, there's got to be situations where people start harboring one another to keep them safe until the Nazi regime has passed by. The assumption that it will pass by, that in some amount of time, a year or 2 or 3 or 4, we will rid ourselves of this Nazi regime if we can. It's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, in addition to countless Mexicans and Muslims and anyone from any African country or any Middle Eastern country, and in addition to the 500,000 Cubans and Venezuelans and Nicaraguans and Haitians who've been told they gotta leave in about another week. Afghans have been added to that list, and there's many of them, and they're married and have children, and I mean, this is such a clusterfuck. It's crazy, and it's awful. And all these people are doing really important jobs too. Like these are the people that are, while the rich people with freaking, in many cases, generational wealth or advantages that helped them acquire wealth can sit back and enjoy early retirements. These people never retire. They work their whole lives serving everybody. Anyway, it's crazy. And so that's just another to the list of horrible things that Marco Rubio and the Trump regime is doing. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court immediately took up a case that they would not normally take up so fast and made it very clear not to deport people to any foreign country anymore. Happy 420. I took like 6 safety meetings before this. I was stressed out about talking about the news also, but it is 420. And how crazy is it? There's all this conjecture about. I heard it today at the protest about, is martial law coming today? Right? There's this theory that there'll be demonstrations, there'll be people smoking pot, because that's a future target, by the way. Like, can you believe there might actually be Republicans who smoke weed, who don't understand how conflicted you'd have to be that all at once, because the only people who've ever tried to make it impossible and punitive and lock you up for are Republicans. Only people who've ever fought to try to legalize weed were any independents, liberal, Democrats, whatever you want to call them, people that aren't Republicans. Republicans are the assholes in the 80s that started locking people up for nothing and created piss tests for busboys. You know, like, really? You got to make a busboy take a piss test? I mean, I get it if you want to put those kinds of rules on maybe a brain surgeon shouldn't be full of certain substances. Although it wouldn't bother me if I knew that a brain surgeon, after a long, hard day's work, smoked a little weed when he went home. I don't think that would make him a bad brain surgeon the next day. But nevertheless, yeah, 420, baby, 420. All right, cheers. Drinking my coffee black. I thought about drinking alcohol. I went to Costco today, and they had this huge bottle of Crown Royal for $44, and I had it in my basket. But I did this terrible thing, and I just set it somewhere on a shelf because I decided I gotta put that one back. I'd like to support Canada, but it's probably not good for me, and it's a lot of money for something really bad for me. So, but if I purchased that, I might be drinking whiskey right now instead of coffee. All right, so Marco Rubio, we covered that piece of shit. And he comes from Cuban fucking immigrants. And he's contradicted himself exactly in the past. Everything he's doing, he said he wouldn't do. Everything they're doing is stuff everyone said they wouldn't do, like J.D. Vance saying, you know, you can't use the IRS to target people, can't target people, and that's all they're doing is targeting people in every way. Anyway, there have been more mass shootings, of course, by children of Republicans, and you know, Trump supporters. It's crazy because the people that either try to kill Trump or just everybody else, they're always MAGA kids. It's so sad. They become radicalized into terrorists by the Republican Party, right? Like, it's the only party that's making terrorists. We should and can't. We ought to abolish the Republican Party. They serve no good purpose, right? Let's have another party that also fights to protect the environment and our clean air and water, and also children from getting shot and women from dying from not getting health care, right? We'll just have two parties that agree on that stuff. They can differ on tax policy, and then the new second party will be the party of peace that doesn't want to make war, and the party that just wants to make friends. It can be a free market also, you know, pro-free markets, not for tariffs. That could be the other party. And then the Democrats can just stay the way they are. You know, many say that they are just as complicit with the killing of lots of people in lots of places over time, including right now. And just as guilty, although not quite as guilty in my view. Of course, Biden stopped sending them 2,000-pound bombs. Trump immediately started doing that again. And then Trump said, we're going to take it over and expel everybody, and told them no one's going to remember them anyway. And and we're going to turn it into, America's going to own it. I think that makes the Republicans. And they just released 20,000 guns that Biden wouldn't let them have, assault rifles for just, all those settlers that are invading the West Bank and, wreaking havoc. And so it's complicated and terrible. All of it's terrible. And Ukraine, it's terrible too. Putin continues to go on a killing rampage. He just loves to do that. It's really strange. I can't imagine, like, with all the options you have in life to do whatever you want, you choose to do harm. I mean, you could choose to live your life in a way that allows you to sleep at night. Have a clean conscience. If there is a heaven, go to heaven. Cheers. All right. So Supreme Court stopped the deportations. They're getting aggressive on that. Of course, Alito and Thomas are for just shitting on the Constitution. It's amazing. Ugh. All right. If you're from another country, I don't recommend traveling here right now. They're locking everyone up for any reason they can find. It's crazy, including freaking tourists in many cases, and harassing people and U.S. citizens and threatening to deport U.S. citizens right and left and detaining U.S. citizens, coming back in, forcing them to give them everything from their phone. If you're not aware of this, I mean, it is terrifying. Oh my God. I think what you need to do is, that's been recommended, get a second phone and or just travel without a phone if you think you can do that. Or get a fair, or put it in your luggage, you know, that's checked and say you don't have it. Oh, although maybe it'd be seen. Yeah, or get some kind of, I guess a second phone is the answer. A lot of times you can get a second phone for very little or no money with whatever plan you've got. And then just put nothing on there. Don't open up any apps, have no apps, no emails, apps, nothing on there, nothing. You know what I mean? Just use it so that you can, you know, maybe have your airline app downloaded on it. But holy shit, and if you're from here, I wouldn't leave, because coming back is shitty, and people already know this. That's why travel has stopped. The travel industry is just gonna die. I don't think the stock market's gonna be going up this week. It's chaos. We have literally like the most evil person possible running the country, and a bunch of evil, incompetent, greedy dipshits around him. And so many of them have so much money. There's no reason to waste your life in Washington when you could be living a life as good as mine. Anyway, I'm poor as hell. I ain't got nothing, but I have a pretty good life. Probably a lot better than all these rich people spending their time in Washington, D.C. like idiots. Gross. All right. Pretending to have jobs. Okay. Yeah, and I think I just watched a disturbing deep dive on Palantir. They are Skynet. They're taking control of our entire government, and they're super evil. If you ever see these interviews with the CEO of Palantir, and then Peter Thiel behind him, and then the way they created the company so that no one will have a majority share, they will always have the voting with only 6% of ownership of all the shares. They have 49.99% of voting rights. The way they structured this company. And oh man, it's the deep state. You know, there's the deep state is the marriage of the right-wing radical extremists, the Ziklag group, and Palantir and the tech oligarchy. It is a sick combination of the two most dangerous groups in the world that could get together, and now they have control of all of our government almost. It's it's daunting. All right, so let me show you something interesting. This is a book called Hard Rock Gold, about Alaska gold mining. My great-grandfather was one of the greatest mining engineers of all time, maybe the greatest. Pretty good. He was a giver, a philanthropist. So they liked him so much they named a mountain right there after him. But this is 2 pages written by my great-grandfather's cousin. His dad was Philip Reed-Bradley Sr., who was a member of the Bohemian Grove. So was he, and I didn't know that until now. God, I wish I'd spent more time with this guy. I knew Philip Reed-Bradley Jr. He lived in Piedmont, adjacent to UC Berkeley, where he attended, and as many in my family did. And at the beginning of this, the first chapter, my grandfather, which is my great-great-grandfather, Henry Sewell Bradley, was born and raised in Milton, Massachusetts in the 1820s. He had graduated from what became MIT, a technical school, and started work as a builder, anyway, of dams and the like when he caught the California gold fever. He sailed out of Boston on a vessel, Orion, in October 1849, rounded the Horn, and landed in May 1850. Okay, so I'm gonna read that whole couple pages someday, so hopefully soon. But how interesting is it that 4 guys on that ship wrote journals, and a historian found them and then made this book. This book is about my great-great-grandfather's trip around South America for the gold rush, which only like 50% of those ships made it. Like, it was a 50-50 chance you were gonna die signing up to do that. But maybe that seemed less daunting than going across country in a wagon train, right? But to find this book, and so anyway, it's 4 guys. My great-great-grandfather and 3 of his friends all wrote journals and hung out, and that's what this whole book is, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I gotta write a book about my family history, and then maybe see if I can make it sell, and then, you know, use that money to do something good. All right, okay. Let's see. Let's get back to it here. Terrible news. Yeah. Oh, and I mean, a lot of people, it might make sense to start carrying their social security cards, their birth certificates with them, because of all the weird shenanigans that are going on with these DEA, ICE agents, ATF. I've seen those. They're all working together. Homeland Security. It's terrible. And then Nazi Klansman Stephen Miller. That guy is the grossest person on earth, and you just know he's behind so much of this shit. He's the one making all these calls. I don't like Harvard. I'm gonna go antagonize Harvard, try to take it over, because I'm all powerful. It's crazy. It's crazy. I just heard somebody call him President Stephen Miller, just like they were calling Elon Musk that. Looks like Elon Musk is on the outs. Of course, that was easily anticipated. He was sleeping in the White House. I don't think he is anymore. And then, of course, he's famous in the news, if you haven't seen it, for wanting to have a legion of babies. He's had like 13, 14 kids that he'll never spend any time with. And he just looks for MAGA women to send a message to say, hey, do you want to have my baby? I'll give you all this money, $100,000 a month, have my baby. He wants to just populate the earth with a bunch of weird little Elon Musk kids. Anyway, what do you think the odds are that one of those kids might take some lives? Might be a serial killer. I mean, at this point, it's 1 in 14. I mean, it's not a total stretch. I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny. But what if that's what he's breeding? You know what I mean? Just a bunch of... No, that's not fair to the children. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. He's got some beautiful ones that he's got, one that he disowned famously, and those that he's kidnapped, and then those that he won't see, and mothers that he won't help. It's so weird. What a weird. And then he's worried about there not being enough children in the world. That's his concern. None of it makes any sense. Still haven't seen that story percolate up about the close-ups on the death camp. Like, I just can't believe that can be ignored for too long, because all you got to do is zoom in on Google Earth View and on Seacott Prison, and holy shit, you know what I mean? And there's and at any time, like there's people that are traveling back and forth, that live to have families, different places, going to a wedding, on vacation. But at any moment, they're going to impose a travel ban on 40 countries and just start and strand people wherever they are. 40 countries. So yeah, don't go anywhere. Stay home and ride this thing out. And if you got room to stash someone you love who happens to maybe be hunted down, could be hunted down by these Nazi boot thugs, I mean, that are just scarier than shit, the way they're just abducting people off the streets. It's so disturbing, and it hurts so many people's feelings and our souls, and who we identify as, including, check this out, priests and nuns. You know, they travel to different countries for different reasons, right? And if with this travel ban, they won't be able to go here or there. So they're trying to get home to whatever country they're from, and ending whatever they were doing in whatever country, the priests, the nuns, because they're gonna get stranded, right? It's just so much incompetence combined with so much evil. It is amazing. All right, let's go on. By the way, at the end of this, I might keep going, or I might start a new one, but I really need to cook some food. I got food I got to process. I need to saute up a killer saute veggie mix, and then bag that up, portion it out for every kind of use you might want some killer veggies. And I need to make some banana bread. I got some bananas that are so ripe over there, I can smell them right now. Some apple bananas, Maui apple bananas. And I got some strawberries that they gotta be on, they're getting close to getting close. I better hurry up and use those. And so anyway, I gotta make some banana bread. And I've been, I've been making this cool little taco. I was thinking I should make that to eat also, but then I'll show you these tacos I've been making that are easy, like four Costco ingredients. So that's that. Cooking. Let's cook together. One of these days, I'm gonna become better at making videos. I will. By the way, this is the cheapest, easiest way. You just go live stream. I'm a whore for a live stream because it takes no effort. It's automatically uploaded. It takes no memory. All right, let's move on. Oh, and think about this. How the hell are we gonna have like World Cup or the Olympics here, right? With all this immigration bullshit. With these Nazis running this country, how are we gonna have immigrants coming and going without getting detained or locked? They're not gonna want to come here. I wouldn't. Or fly out of the country and come back. People who are on our teams who are gonna get detained and harassed and thrown in prisons. And how many people are just gonna run to the hills, set up a freaking homeless camp up in the hills somewhere, and then stay separate from their phone, get a Faraday cage, stay at their friend's house. I mean, I would be doing all that shit if I thought they were coming for me right now. And who knows how long it'll be before they are, just for me using my right to speak. So, yeah, I've thought about that. I already know a spot in the mountains that I would go. I always thought, if I was going to grow some weed in the mountains, I found a spot. But I think that's going to be the spot where I run to when they start coming after people who are exercising their right to free speech. Because that's part of the whole, the Russian playbook, Putin's playbook, Adolf Hitler's playbook, the 1984 George Orwell playbook. All right, let's move on. What else? And then think about artists, right? For concerts trying to come and go from our country. All that. Another thing affected, right? It's going to be so bad in so many ways. How long do you think before we Americans, real Americans, can get these shitty people out of freaking all of their offices? Oh, they got their offices in our orifices. Oh my God. All right. And how's this? Trump wants to start fining immigrants who don't leave $1,000 a day. So of course, when you abduct them, then they'll have this huge debt. and then you'll need to imprison them and then force them to do labor for like $1 a day to help let them pay off their debt. So is this just a move towards making people into slaves, you know, based on the debt that they're gonna have that they won't be able to pay? Just another, so that if you do hide in the mountains, when you finally come out, you'll be, oh, you owe $680,000 to the American government for just existing. God, it is just so cruel and unusually punishing and evil. And these people call themselves God-loving, God-fearing Christians. What the hell you gonna do? And none of it makes any sense. And then how about Murkowski? Of course, she's saying she's afraid. She's afraid. And people are like, hey, if you're afraid, why don't you quit? Please quit. Oh, God. But, man, I mean, hire a couple bodyguards and stop being afraid. Oh, the mayor of Maui is going to make more money than the governor of Hawaii in this new legislation they're passing. There can't be any. He's not corrupt. No, I don't know. He's a hard one to figure out. Smells like a Republican, but he's got all these great deep family connections to cool people like Amy Gilliam and shit. So I don't know, man. And then, of course, he failed us pretty much with the fire. No one has ever figured out what he was up to all day that day, the day of the fire, the day he could have been on the phone trying to do something, maybe, as our dear leader. Nevertheless, interesting news about him making all this money. I don't even know how much it was. I just heard the tail end of the report. Listening to NPR, they really have good news. All right. So, and we just killed the National Oceanic Association, Atmospheric Association. We're just decimating it, destroying it as the climate gets worse and worse. These Republicans are just so horrible. They do everything wrong. They do everything, thank you. They do everything wrong. They do everything illegally, everything in a corrupt way, everything incompetently, everything as if the devil were in charge. Whatever the devil would do, I'm pretty sure that's where the Republicans start with all their decision-making processes, including that. And then, of course, what else? Oh, and this week they killed the Head Start program. Now, the best thing is, and I should have put this up on a screen, but if you see the graphic of the states that receive the most Head Start help, yeah, Kristi Noem State, South Dakota, the #1. Like, it's the darkest, it's all shaded. The darkest state in the country that needs the most Head Start help is South Dakota. So you voted, you South Dakota people voted to destroy Head Start. Good job. The people that are most dependent on it. How does that make any sense? I don't know. But, you know, today could be the day you make the pledge. I'll never vote for a Republican ever again, because they never do anything that's healthy. Everything's hurtful, criminal, wrong, or unjust. They literally serve no good purpose. Not one good purpose. It's amazing. And they lie their way into getting people to talk about it. And they're never been fiscally responsible. Never been for free trade. Oh, anyway, all right, let's go on. Let's go on. Oh, and another layer of their evil stupidity. If you haven't heard, they have told England they're not going to deal with them on tariffs until they allow hate speech. They got to get rid of these laws that protect vulnerable communities from hate speech. What weird fucking people these Republicans are. Oh my God, and how just blatantly gross that is. But that's who they are, you know? That's who we know Republicans to be. I hate to be a critic because, you know, I want to be a successful comedian someday. It's my dream, and one of them. And it's a good way to keep my brain active too. If you didn't know, you know, you got to use it or lose it. So I recommend comedy. But I just don't find very many comedians very funny. Kevin Hart, I just sit there just hoping he'll make me laugh. He fills stadiums, and I just don't think he's very funny. And he overdoes everything. He tries to be too cute all the time. I don't know. And yeah, and of course Joe Rogan ain't funny, and none of his friends are funny at all. That right-wing ecosphere is gross. Anyway, I made a joke. If you haven't seen it, I made a short, and it got 1,000 views. Oh, here. So I just want to mention this interesting thing about YouTube making content. If you haven't noticed, like I'll do a short and it'll get 200 views or 500 views or 1,000 views or whatever, and then it just stops. Literally stops. And that 960 views will come in 3 hours, and then it'll stop, and a year and a half later it'll have 960 views still. Like, it's so weird how algorithms just stop videos. And that happens with, like, the one with 177,000 views. It went straight to 177,000 views, and then it just stopped. Like, anyway, it's just fascinating. So I just did my whole joke, and that short is out there, and it got right to 960, kind of stopped, but now it's gotten over 1,000. But somebody gave me the ultimate compliment I could ever get is, "You sound like Mitch Hedberg." Oh, it made me so happy. Anyway, that's the greatest he's my favorite comedian of all time. He was just so beautifully silly. When I try to get my mind right, you know, to try to think funny, I watch him. I can watch his same joke 100 times, and it's better to me than most comedians the first time. Anyway, so that happened, and that made me very happy. Made me feel very good being compared to Mitch Hedberg. Love that guy. All right. Oh, I just realized though, some of the jokes I do as something to imagine. I could try to explain to AI and have them make an image of a joke that lives in my mind, right? Anyway. All right, moving on. Oh, how about the Consumer Fraud Protection Bureau? Right? Consumers, that's us. Fraud protection. The people that are actually fighting fraud. There's people that do that. We don't need these liars who are implementing a Nazi manifesto regime while they claim it's waste, fraud, abuse. That's what we're doing. It's really every time they say waste, fraud, and abuse, it's really 2025 Nazi manifesto we're implementing, and we're just going to call it waste, fraud. Well, why wouldn't you want waste, fraud, and abuse? What's wrong with you? But they're really saying, why wouldn't you want the Nazi regime? What's wrong with you? And because you're the Nazi regime. That's why we don't want you. Anyway, so the Consumer Fraud Protection Bureau saw it coming. They're fighters. They hit up a court before they got 90%. They're cutting 90% of this whole. Why? Because they're one of the few vestiges left that might hold anybody accountable or do anything to protect us consumers from being screwed by the traitors we call Republicans, who have infested our politics like herpes. They're killing us, literally killing people everywhere. A USAID pullback is going to kill at least 10 million people in 4 years. And that's just one of the ways they're killing people out of like probably 100 identifiable ways. They're literally causing death, the death cult, the Republican Party. It's unbelievable. And the part where they say that they have some association with God. Good morning, Frankie. Yeah, well, I sleep weirdly ever since the fire. So I took like a long nap and then woke up at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And I'll probably go back to sleep again at like 8 until like 11. It's my favorite and most affordable hobby is nap taking. And if you haven't heard the advertisements, like Kaiser literally has advertisements that say, do you like taking a nap at lunch? Sleeping behind your desk? Things like that, you know? Keep doing it. That will help you live another 10 years and see the doctor a lot less, right? Because they're just trying to save money. And the way to save money is for people to be healthier, to sleep better. Yeah, I'm going to go in there and cook after this. All right. All right, I'll just keep it going into the kitchen. All right. Oh, God, the rocket launch. Oh, my God. Did you heard Katy Perry? And it's so funny because what my thought was, I've heard it reflected by other people, but, you know, she gets out and she says, oh, I feel connected to love, right? Which is so weird. That shit on the backdrop of Nazis picking up innocent people who are guilty of studying and working 60-hour weeks hanging drywall. That's what they're guilty of, and they're getting handcuffed and put in prisons and sent to gulags. I mean, it's... And then in the front of that, oh, look at the billionaires out there. By the way, if you're a billionaire and someone says, hey, do you want to come watch a rocket launch in East Texas? You should say no. There's no way that was a nice day for Oprah Winfrey or any of those other weirdos that were out there. Like, that's a shitty day out in East Texas. Breathing dust and freaking, you know, rocket fuel and shit. I mean, I was just looking at that like, you could be anywhere else. You could be in a place like where I am. But no, that's where you billionaires, the Kardashians are out there. Oh, isn't this great? Oh my God, on the backdrop of just the most evil shit happening all over the place. Like, what a disconnect between the billionaires and the rest of us. Oh, I literally fantasize about tax brackets. You know, 90% tax bracket for the top, you know, whatever, 10 or 100 families. 85% for the next 400. You know, 80% for the next 1,000 richest families, right? Bam, we got so many problems solved. Oh, and then just a $100,000 or $200,000 everyone at the bottom, just a tax break. So you don't need to pay your taxes. We'll just have funnel everything we can through W-2s. We'll take out whatever we need to after $100,000, and then everyone working 2 jobs to try to make 80 will get to keep every dollar they make, and then we'll take all the money out of the top. And that lady working 2 jobs, raising 4 kids, can buy more shoes for her kids, or maybe some shoes. Oh, gee shucks. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it was absurd. And then, of course, people talked about how terrified Gayle King is, of course. You know, and I love hearing black commentators go, yeah, no black person wants to do that. You know, anyway, because, you know, they're common sense oriented. Oh, so May 1st, that young student, that woman who was abducted off the streets, and like, again, all these people that get abducted, the entrapment, the guy who went to go to the immigration office, and that happens a lot, and all the people who, you got to assume no one's going to trust anybody anymore. Right? Like, and all those people who've been abducted are like, man, rethinking it. If I'd only done this, if I'd done that, if I'd just not walked out of my house, if I'd stayed home all day. You know, that lady who got abducted on the streets, what if she just stayed home and didn't open her door? Or what if she'd stayed at a friend's house and left her phone at home? Because maybe they're tracking people by their phones. I think they are. Palantir is, you know, behind doing shit. So we can't trust. There's so much surveillance, and we got to get rid of this flock surveillance system in 6,000 cities, tracking everyone's movements, right? Creating profiles on you, and because they know your license plate, know who you are, and know where you go, how much time you spend everywhere you go. Holy crap! And then you weigh that against listening to the interviews of the Palantir CEO. It's terrifying. That guy is terrifying to listen to. Oh my God. So yeah, that young woman who was abducted, who was guilty of being a hardworking student, a real threat, you know, who once wrote an article, who's not in favor of genocide, like, yeah, it's so scary. But she's being ordered back to Vermont, May 1st, by maybe the Supreme Court or another judge. So hopefully they'll abide by that. They'll probably just let her loose, like that family that got abducted down the street from Tom Homan's office. Pardon me while I get a new source on this little light I got here. This one little light. Oh, wrong one. There it is. Okay. And then let's get the warm glow. Okay. So what else? Yeah, so that's good news. That woman, but she's been locked up for like a month, right? Like a prisoner in a freaking prison. These aren't detention centers. They're evil prisons. And people are mistreated and they're given, oh God, terrible food and no comforts. And they sleep on concrete and it's demoralizing and traumatizing. Like a day is like a year in those conditions. And these people are just thrown away to Texas and Louisiana where you know they're getting treated even worse. And it's just so disheartening. And where all the judges are corrupt maggots. And all this shitting on the Constitution is just killing us. Anyway. And then there's the disgusting UFC fight. If you haven't seen coverage from this. Yeah, I know, huh? How is it possible to have a heart and a soul and not feel some pain for the people who are suffering unjustly, like obviously unjustly, which is not what our country has ever been about until right now. It's never been about injustice and crime and bribery. Holy shit. But now oh God, it's just brutal. So if you haven't seen the coverage, there's this disgusting UFC fight where there's all the players that I have disavowed. I'll never listen to Joe Rogan again, never watch a UFC fight again in my life, or any product that Dana White is associated with, or Joe Rogan. They disgust me so much. Oh, and I didn't know Wayne Gretzky was so disgusting. Holy shit. Oh, I think I had some of his cards that burned up in the fire. Maybe I should be glad. What a piece of shit. He's in the fucking stand sitting next to Cash Yap Patel, sitting next to Wayne Gretzky, him and Hahn. Oh my God. All the people there that are, Ted Cruz was there, like the weakest, meekest little man ever in his cowboy boots, who's not a cowboy by any stretch of the imagination. He's oh God, I don't even know if there's a word terrible enough to describe Ted Cruz. Is there one? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel called him a blowfish. He does kind of look like a blowfish. I mean, not Ted. Yeah, Ted Cruz. Yeah. He's just off. All these Texas politicians, the Republicans, are so awful, so stupid. God, they could have elected that awesome brother who was a fucking badass NFL player. Holy shit, who's a badass everything else too. Student, scholar, lawyer. I mean, went to Baylor, played for the Titans. Just, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But God, they could have elected him instead of meek weakling Ted Cruz, whose dog is named after him. He named his dog Snowflake. That is so great. Ted Cruz's dog is named after all Republicans. Snowflake. So he's always got his snowflake with him. And of course, if you haven't heard, there's a brain drain. I was talking to some Canadians down here, and they're like, "Yeah, all the smart people are moving to Canada." I was like, "Oh yeah," because I saw that story about that Yale or Harvard professor who's like, "Yeah, I'm out of here, man. I'm moving to Toronto. It ain't safe here no more." And oh, you snorted. That's crap. Thanks for telling me. Oh, who needs to write jokes when the truth is this funny? You know what I mean? It's so funny. All right, shit. Yeah, so there's a brain drain. Yeah, people who's smart, who have the resources and are getting ahead of this, already have a pass. They've been working with immigration. Apparently, Canada doesn't hate us so much they won't let us move there. And so, yeah, smart, productive people, which makes sense, who don't want to get scooped up because they're smart, or they have an opinion, or they have a job, or they work for a school, or they're a student, or they're brown skin, or they have a lot of tattoos, or they have any Muslim in their name, or, oh my God. Oh, it's just so freaky watching all these people getting scooped up. And who are these unconstitutional sons of bitches all these motherfuckers who are scooping these people up pledged an oath to the Constitution. And the onus is on them, right? And I'm pretty sure Nazi soldiers weren't treated well at the end. They were guilty of crimes just the same, right? And now there's a fishing expedition going for who's actually responsible, because they want to hold legally, criminally accountable the people who violated the judge's orders deporting these people to El Salvador. And there is a way for a judge to do it even without the support of the Attorney General and the DOJ and Pam Bondi, who is so goddamn stupid. She really is inspiring me to want to go to law school and become a lawyer, because if she can do it, it's like being president, right? I like to joke around about wanting to be president, which in today's world, we should all, we need 1 million people to all want to run for Congress to take out red seats, right? In every red district, everyone should be willing to run for president, because apparently anyone can do it, right? Obviously. Oh my God, anyone can do it. I forget what I was gonna say. But yeah, that's why I wish all my, and I listen to all these other guys, Midas Touch guys and Jesse Dollamore. We need more people in the space, more people with an opinion, sending this message home. I send these guys messages on YouTube. Hey, notice me, I'm right over here, you guys. If that's true, if you really think that way, I'm taking no prisoners over here on my channel. Come boost my, I need subscribers. I need to go from 5 to 50. Anyway, and they never respond. But I wish all my heroes, like aforementioned people, and everybody in that space, I wish they'd all be willing to run for office. That's what I was like. That's where I was going with this. Whether it's this guy Mark Elias, gotta love him, the lawyer, or Brian Tyler Cohen, or all the Midas Touch boys and girls, or Jesse Dollamore. He'd make a great candidate. Who wouldn't want to vote for that motherfucker? He's badass. They're all smarter than Sam Cedar, run for office, They're all smart. They know all the issues. They're conscientious. We know them. They have support, a following. They could take that fame and move it forward. That's what I wish I saw. Anyway, that's what I am. I'm one of these people that, if I had a big enough audience, I would parlay that into running for office, to be a tough son of a bitch fighting the fight on the front lines, not afraid to be threatened by meek weaklings. No, the guys, none of them, they're not bad people. No, all those guys we love, the Midas Touch, I love those guys. I just wish they would all be like everybody, wanting to run for office too, become popular, keep telling us the news, and then try running for office too, because man, would that feel great to have people like that in office, that you feel like you really know. Man, the only person I ever donated money to would just deceive me. She was our congresswoman here, Tulsi Gabbard, a Democrat woman in the military. Local girl turned into a pile of shit. I feel so I only donated $7 to her, but still. First time I donated money to a person. Oh, they're not, right, I know. They're great people. Did I call them that? I hope I didn't call them that. It seemed that way. I just wish these, yeah. So, you know what I'm saying. All right, so let's see. Is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. There's more happening, though. By the time I got all this down, there's already more terrible news happening. And today's 420. And, oh, so they can't run because they're not, you're right, you got to be an asshole to want to run. Yeah. Well, there is just enough of an asshole in me to want to run and take that fever right to them. Because I can make an argument. When I was in college student government, I was elected with 73% of the vote, right? And we like all government, we just took in money. All the students gave us money. We had a budget of about 120 grand, and it was just our job to figure out how we wanted to spend it, right? We had this group of people that voted on everything, and then the officers, and I would listen to debates, right, of everything, why this, that, and the other thing, and then once people started repeating themselves, and we'd heard everything you could hear, I would formulate an opinion, right, and then step up, tell everyone what I thought would be the right way to go, why I thought it would be that way, and then move to close debate, and then someone would second it. We close debate, we vote on it. Every time I won, right? I could persuade that whole room. Now, it wasn't Democrats and Republicans, so I don't expect it to be quite that easy in Congress. But if I got in there, I think I could do that. Anyway, all right, so, oh, and look at this. This is a book, The Confessions and Autobiography. This guy was a mass murderer, killed 17 people. He tried to kill my great-grandpa 26 times. He eventually went to prison, became the best prisoner at the Idaho State Penitentiary, Harry Orchard. But he went there because he killed the governor of Idaho in 1905. The Pinkerton Detective Agency went to town and discovered, with their detective work, that it was him. It's a pretty cool story. I think it would be pretty cool as part of a movie someday. Now, I just need to... oh, and as I mentioned, I put a call out to a professor of the history of mining at a school, University of Nevada, and had this great conversation with him. And maybe I'll go there and study, and because that's close. I used to work, or just utilize him as a friend because he can teach me stuff that I need to know. I want to learn the innovations that my great-grandfather did. I mean, he was the world record setter for 50 years, and I assume that's because of things he did better than others. And so I need to learn those details, and I need to talk to somebody who's a mining historian, and I found one. There's only a few of them in the country. I thought mining history would be taught more, but it's just not that popular. There are people interested in women's history, so I need to find professors of that and get them interested in wanting to help me tell my great-great-grandmother's story, who ran for office in 1881 and was elected to the Board of Education in Nevada City. And that's when, like, Mark Twain was cruising through there. So I want to believe that she encountered and knew Mark Twain because she was a scholar. Her husband had gone to MIT. She was big on education. She was a great mathematician. She was the president of the Women's Organization, was a suffragist, fought for women's rights, led the women at the Chicago World's Fair exhibition in the 1890s, amongst others, traveled around the country. And her story needs to be told. She supported Susan B. Anthony when she came to town and gave a speech to 39 people in Nevada City, which is a red district. What if I moved there and tried to unseat that guy? There's a dream. Anyway, all right, I gotta shut up. I talk so much. Should we just go right into the kitchen and start cooking? Interesting. Oh, cool. All right, cool. If you're a history fan, um, I'm into it now because I figured out where my family fits in all of it, and and I was thinking like it, because a lot of people will never be able to discover the stuff that I'm able to discover, but I want people to realize that their families' histories are just as amazing and sensational, and they are stories of trials and tribulations and of survival, of everything that you can imagine. In my case, I'm lucky to know details going back in some cases 1,000 years, but definitely all 400 years. Uh, I lost my bloodline lineage connection through my mom's side, which is complicated, the Hamilton side, but through her, I'm a direct descendant of the Mayflower. But the first Bradley came in 1635 on a ship called the Elizabeth, Daniel Bradley. And I know everybody I come from since then, and there's all these interesting, famous people. And then my grandmother's family history, I gotta re-unearth that. I lost that in the fire, but she was a descendant of the second governor of Massachusetts, and I think the founders of Harvard. And what if that would help me get into Harvard, being a direct descendant of the founders of Harvard? That'd be cool. So that's interesting. I got to work on that. But on the Bradley side, I still got all that. I actually took a picture of the work I did of that. I had other work I didn't take pictures of, where I had 2 pages that said my whole family history, 10, 12, 15 generations. So yeah, it's so fun. There's that guy. There's a reason to want to become famous. Normally, by the way, it's a curse, and I don't welcome it on my closest friends. But if I want to succeed at comedy or become a politician, I have no choice. But there's that guy who does Finding Your Roots for PBS, who's just a master of doing that. And in my dreams, I become special enough of a human for him to want to help me. You know what I mean? I got to become recognizable enough and be liked by enough people. Yeah, I love that guy too. Wouldn't it be great to have him working on your family history? Yeah, it's one of my dreams. I got a lot of them. Oh my goodness, and so on. What else is going on out there? Oh, the attack on voting rights and the attack on our wildlife and our national parks, and oh my God, it's just and Bernie and AOC working the country, huge crowds in red places. It's a beautiful thing, and what's cool are all the people that speak before them, that are local heroes, that are fighting the fight locally, and they're all passionate. And then those two, what a great 2 different. I mean, shit, what is she? 36, and he's like 80. What a great team. Man, it'd be so interesting to see if we're. Yeah, I know. And that woman, that blonde woman who lost by like 30 points, I don't think she's gonna lose next time. She's a tough Utah woman. Like a professional athlete. I don't know, skier, or I'm not sure what she was, but just a strong woman. Like, yeah, that blonde woman that spoke at the beginning. If you haven't seen it, watch the whole thing. Go back, watch that blonde woman who opened up for AOC, who ran for office. I think her last name was like Geist or something. Man, I mean, inspiring. All right, cheers. I love listening to Mary Trump. She works hard at being funny. I like how she does that. She's like, this is the show where I, Mary Trump, make jokes about another Trump. Cool. What was I talking about? They went to what? At the rally yesterday now, the sun is now risen. There were 2 people there who are my subscribers. How cool was that? Isn't she great, Mary Trump? She's so sweet. The nerdy, she's just such a beautifully nerdy and intelligent and strong-willed woman. I just love her. But yeah, there were 2 subscribers of mine in the crowd, and I had them on. They were part of the video that never got filmed, but that was cool. And one of them I'm going to interview, and another one is a weed grower up country. Invited me up to his farm. So that's interesting. And yeah, and then another one, I'm like, hey man, I got a channel. He's like, oh, I already watch you. I was like, oh, killer, thanks, man. Anyway, because, there's only 5,000 subscribers, so I don't know, if I'm ever going to really run into one too often, because there's not that many of them out there in the world. So, yeah, what the hell you going to do? Tell you what, oh, should I just go right into the kitchen and start cooking? Tell you what, I'm going to close this off, so it's just, my news show. But I'm going to go in my kitchen, turn it right back on, and start cooking. I need to make some, I'm going to make okay, so here's what I'm imagining. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to be cooking. I got a gluten-free blueberry muffin mix, and I got a banana bread mix. I'm going to mix those two together, all right? Woo, provocative, huh? And then I'm going to add fresh blueberries, fresh strawberries, fresh apple bananas, a lot of fruit, and some walnuts. These walnuts. And and then I'm going to bake that. And it's going to be, and I think I'm going to try something I've never tried. I'm going to saute those bananas like I like to do a little bit with, a little butter and honey maybe, and add some acai to that. So it's going to be a full-on purple bread, acai, blueberry, strawberry, apple banana bread with walnuts. I mean, so much nutrition. Throw in a couple extra eggs. Should be a good time. So that's that aspect of what I got to get done. Because like I said, I can smell those bananas. They are ripe and ready to go. And then I'm going to make these little tacos where I take these they're 10 cents, right? These 100 Costco. Love Costco. You know what I looked into today? They don't sell t-shirts. I wanted to buy a Costco t-shirt. They don't sell t-shirts. So I'll make these little tacos. Probably put add egg to it, so it'll be a breakfast style taco. Same way, add one more. But Costco tacos, they sell 100 of them for $10. It's 10 cents a taco, right? You're starting out very affordably. Put two of them together. Put a little cheese, little mozzarella in between to stick them together, and then just put a little bit of hummus, because if you watch every doctor tell you about everything, every doctor, every diet that's good for you, the one thing that's in everyone's things that are good for you is garbanzo beans, hummus. So, and that's just as good as refried beans. If you never substituted hummus for refried beans, you should try it. It's a great way to make a burrito or a taco, a little different but the same. And then I'm gonna get some Costco cantina, $6, big old thingy. Just a couple spoonfuls of this mild salsa in there, right? And then I'm gonna take these, maybe have some egg in there, but also then just hit it with broccoli sprouts to kind of soak up all the mushiness, And the broccoli sprouts loaded full of sulforaphane. If you don't know what sulforaphane is, it is in a nutshell, let me explain sulforaphane, because it is amazing shit. I was driving Uber about a month ago. I picked up a cancer researcher, okay? A cancer researcher. She's a doctor, a full-blown doctor, but she practices her medical degree by doing medical research on cancer. And of course, locally, ancient Hawaiians and current Hawaiians believe, and for good reason, that noni has healthy properties, many of which might be the cure for many things, including cancer. So my first question to the lady was, you ever heard of noni juice? And she's like, no, which is fine. My second question, you ever heard of sulforaphane? She said, yep. That's what I'm studying right now. This researching oncologist studying cancer right now. What's she studying? Sulforaphane. Okay. Case in point. Now, sulforaphane, where do you find it? Cruciferous vegetables is the answer. Simple, plain and simple. So eat cruciferous vegetables. It's also the vegetable that diabetics are supposed to eat. Now, in that world of cruciferous vegetables, is there a place where there's more sulforaphane than anywhere else? Is there? Yes, there is the answer. And where is that? Broccoli sprouts, baby. Broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts. We got this local advertisement. Battery Bill. Battery Bill. It like gets stuck in your head for life. It's you run across it. I've heard it on and off for 20 years. It's kind of like the drag queen taxi driver. Toot, 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 toot. A local ad that gets in your head. Anyway, sometimes I repeat things, and it's an homage to Battery Bill. Battery Bill. And anyway, so yeah, broccoli sprouts, baby, broccoli sprouts. So that's what I'm putting in that, and that's gonna be my breakfast, because I made those for dinner last night. And of course, if you're using, corn tortillas, it's gluten-free, gluten-free. So that's exciting, and that's a vegetarian breakfast right there. And then what else? I got some vegetables, and I need to make a veggie mix. But also, if you're afraid of cooking, don't be. I'm just gonna make it up as I go, like I do every time. And you should feel empowered to do that. Don't see yourself as someone who can't cook. Just go apply heat to food you like. That's all you gotta do. Start with water, oil, in the oven, on a grill, just heat. Take a food, add some heat to it. Maybe not too much. Some people like raw food, and that's another whole thing, but you know what I mean? And just mix shit you've never mixed and try it out. And you never know what you're gonna find. In fact, I've got this thought I'm gonna do. I've never done it before. Salsa is full of flavor, and of course it has no fat, no cholesterol. It's vegan. It's got a lot of good properties, salsa, right? Full of flavor. And I've never seen anybody toss pasta with salsa. So, and I've got some of this funky pasta, this udon noodle pasta from Costco. And I'm gonna do that and then toss it with salsa. This Cantina fresh salsa I got from Costco as well. Just 2 ingredients, maybe add another ingredient or 2. But anyway, maybe add some onions, more onions or garlic or tomatoes. Anyway, I never heard of anybody doing that. Pasta with salsa, right? And it's got to be a nice, healthy alternative, and similar to other tomato sauces, just without the sugar, right? Although some salsas do have sugar. So right on. Oh, and those I've Had It ladies. I am addicted to their attitude. If you haven't seen those ladies, although the thing is, like in the beginning, yeah, I know it's so sad. I know. You gotta find a place to hide till Adolf Hitler's out of office. Yeah, shit. Anyway, where was I? All right, food, cooking. So yeah, I need to cook up some veggies. But yeah, to the point. Don't be afraid to cook, and also invest your own money, be in control of it, and protect it. Big part of making money is not losing it, and that a lot of people are going to be learning that lesson right now. I don't think it's going to be a good week in the stock market. I think the end of the week there's going to be more chaos, more reason for Trump to say, "Oh, we got to have martial law." People are starting to worry that there's going to be troops in the streets, American troops, which is against the law, in the streets of America, busting heads on us because we want to go peacefully protest. And so it goes. Crazy times. All right. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go in the kitchen. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. It's a great day to be alive. Don't forget that. Make sure you vote every time you can. It's funny. I wasn't a voter before Satan started running for office. But I finally had to come off the fence, and and now, yeah. All right. What else is there? It's just me wasting time. Again, may I remind you, I am the fantasy football champion in my league. That's the Mary Jane Fantasy Football League. If you're wondering how people see me around town, I am the current champion. Finally, 25 years of studying football so hard, like it was a college course I was trying to get an A in. And this was the year I finally broke through. You know, it's a long time to come. I've been building this franchise for 25 years. All right. Thanks for watching. And again, I'll be going to the kitchen, so maybe we'll see you in a minute or 5 or 10. I'm probably going to have a safety meeting, a 420 safety meeting, you know, somewhere outside of here, of course, because this is not a place appropriate to do that. Yeah, have a great day. Cross your fingers. Let's hope only good things happen. I'm hoping that someday I can change the name of my show. Okay, let's cross our fingers that the name of my show can someday change from the God Awful News to some other kind of news. You know, it'd be nice if I could call this Some Good News. You know, it'd be a nice convenience, wouldn't it? But I don't see that happen anytime soon. All right. However, Donald Trump is gonna die. I mean, he's an old man, right? So we got to remember it's the Republican Party that needs to be held accountable for this shit, right? Elon Musk is now already disappearing. It's not, I mean, it's okay to blame him forever and never buy his products, but you know, he's already out of the picture, and they're going to try to blame as much as they can on him, and then blame as much as they can on whoever they can. And of course, Hillary but Joe Biden. Everything's Joe Biden's fault. Still Joe Biden's fault. Oh my God, these snowflakes. And yeah, but it's the Republicans that we need to vote out. Never vote for Republican ever again. Take the pledge, make the commitment, the lifelong commitment, or buy any products for any of these bastards who are enabling these traitors, these Nazi traitors. Any pro-Nazi company, don't give them your money. Oh, yeah, I know, he is scary, but he's also very unpopular. And I would hope that his unpopularity would sort of defang him. That's the only hope I would have with him, because just everybody hates him. In every country around the world, even in his own country, even in Congress probably. I'm hoping that the people that are just in the cult would wake up a little out of it and, you know, might shake their brains a little bit, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I worry too. J.D. Vance is scary. Oh, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Okay, I'm going to do it. Oh, let's just see. And you ladies, it's brutal. You shouldn't feel like you got to put eye makeup on, because eyes are sensitive, okay? That's the takeaway. Why would you want to put shit around the most sensitive part of your body? I mean, maybe the second most sensitive part of your body, but it's up there. I mean, it's right up there with genital sensitivity. Eye sensitivity. Oh my God, look, see, it's a little arrow. How do you do it? And then I look on TV. How do you women do this? I mean, seriously, your eye, like you gotta have it open or closed. It's moving around. I mean, it seems goddamn impossible. Like, look at this. See? It's impossible. And then if you close it, then you can't see what you're doing. The top part, how do you do that? Do you close one eye? I mean, seriously, this is so fucking hard. Oh my God, what you ladies go through, I don't know how you do it. How do you do this? You ladies and J.D. Vance, how does he do it? Does he have a makeup artist? Does his wife do it? Does he actually do his own? How could any man do this? Oh, God. Oh, my God. No offense to people in drag who are good at this, but like any, you know, masculine man, how does he do this? You know, because those Republicans are so masculine. This is what they do. This is how they attract women in the Republican Party. Let's see. How do you do? What if I don't know. I'll just pin it down. Pin it down. Keep this other eye open. And then... It's really hard, ladies. How do you do this? How do you do it? It's so hard. And this is where your eye is. You shouldn't be putting shit around your eye. And then what? You can put shit there and then up here too. And then up there. I mean, it's crazy what the world makes women do, or what women feel like they gotta do. Oh my God. I would never think a woman should have to put makeup on, especially around her eyes. Lipstick, that's easy. I've put Carmex on. I can relate to lipstick. That's doable. I wonder you won't be outside doing your 420 and Oh, it's funny. I went to the pool like this the other day, forgetting that I had done this, you know. Walked out there, all confidently got in, swam my laps. Came back here, was like, oh my God, I went down there with eye makeup on. In public. People might saw me. That's funny. God dang it. Smoky eye. If you've never heard that, I've had it, ladies, talk about this. Oh, he's got full-on smoky eye. What is smoky eye when you do this? Is that smoky eye? When you smoke it out? When you're smoking it out? Is that what I'm doing there? Is that smoky eye? Oh, all right. All right. I'm going to turn this off. And you'll know it's me because I'll be the guy in the kitchen with the eyeliner on. Where men belong. In the kitchen with the eyeliner on. I got to do some cleaning too. So I'm going to be doing some cleaning and some cooking. You know, like a man should be. Duh. With my eyeliner on, like a Republican man. Ooh, oh, I tell you what. That's not a permanent marker. That is eyeliner. LA Colors, stamp and line. $3.49 at Ross. I know, quite a value. I would recommend you have someone else put this on, though. I don't know how anyone could do this themselves. But somehow they do. Oh, here's interesting. My friend that I grew up with, his uncle invented the pencil. Had the patent on the pencil, sold it, made a bunch of money. Gave my three friends, they were all three brothers, offered them $250,000 once they got their college degree. Pretty cool way to start your life, having a cool uncle like that. And yeah, and one of them, Danny Sharon, he's the funniest guy I ever knew in 7th and 8th grade, and he is my inspiration. My comedic inspiration is Danny Sharon in the 7th and 8th grade. He is now a school vice principal, I think, in the middle of California. Anyway, and his oldest brother moved to Israel and started an American football league in Israel. To be interesting also. What an interesting thing to do with your life. John Sharon, I wonder what he's up to. If he's still in Israel. You know, that's an interesting life path. All right. Love you guys. Do no harm, do no crime. If you're thinking about doing harm or crime, become the laziest piece of shit that ever lived, and you'll be the greatest person ever by being lazy, right? Just eat a lot of chips and drink salty or alcoholic or sweet beverages, you know, and just become just a total lazy derelict, you know, and then you'll just totally make the world a better place by not doing harm or crime, right? It's so much easier than actually taking the act. It takes effort to do harm and crime. So, do less. I want to become the superhero that fights crime by getting people to do less. All right. Love you guys. Have a great day. Aloha. Thanks for watching.